بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن آياته أن خلقكم من تراب ثم إذا أنتم بشر تنتشرون صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Dear respected listeners, sometimes life, when you look at our life, when you look at the perspective on how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us and these days and nights that we are living, it's like we are in a maze. And what happens when a person is in a maze? You turn left, you turn right, everything looks the same, you kind of don't know where you are. And then what happens when you zoom out and you look from above? Then you can see everything. That's a dead end there, that's a dead end there, those doors are closed. The way out of this maze is in this direction. You see everything very, very clearly when you zoom out. Allah Azza wa Jal, in the Quran Kareem, in various places, He has zoomed out for us. So we can see the perspective. What is the reality of Hayatul Dunya? What is the reality of these days and nights that we are living? A few verses we covered tonight where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of this reality. The first verse, هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن ضُعْفٍ هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم اللَّهُ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن ضُعْفٍ. Allah is the one that has created you from weakness. ثُمَّ جَعَلَ مِن بَعْدِ ضُعْفٍ قُوَّةٍ. After this weakness, Allah Azza wa Jal gave you strength. So subhanallah, we all know a human being, those initial stages when a child is in the womb, that's complete weakness. That small child, that small fetus that's in the womb of the mother, 100% dependent on the mother. Subhanallah, so much so, the child cannot even chew the food on its own. There's no sustenance that comes from its own side to chew. The umbilical cord is attached and directly it gets the nutrients from the mom. Subhanallah. Look how weak, look how helpless, look how much in need. Don't think of a fetus that's not you. That's us, that's every one of us. We were that fetus. We were that small child. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ. From the signs of Allah Azza wa Jal, from His signs is that He made you from dust. And suddenly what happened? ثُمَّ إِذَا أَنْتُمْ بَشَرٌ تَنْتَشِرُونَ. Suddenly you look, and what happens? It's a human being, he's walking and he's moving around in the earth. Subhanallah. A small child, that little fetus, nothing. And then it is born, and what happens? Helpless. Can't move, can't walk, can't talk, can't eat, can't do anything. Allah gives it strength. Allah gives it production. It goes from strength to strength to strength. فَإِذَا أَنْتُمْ وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ ثُمَّ إِذَا أَنْتُمْ بَشَرٌ تَنْتَشِرُونَ. You're walking around, you're moving left, you're moving right, you're moving around in the streets. Subhanallah. Allah has manifested His great abilities of being Khaliq. Because as human beings, we're the greatest makhlooq that Allah has made. There is no creation that's greater than human beings. From all of the living animals that we see, all of the living beings that we see, Allah made us the greatest. Subhanallah. You look at a lion, so powerful, so strong. You look at the giraffe, so tall. Hippo, so heavy, so big, so strong. But look who's in charge of all of these animals. Look who puts them inside of the zoos. Look who's the one. Allah gave us the aql and the intellect and the knowledge. We're greater than all of the other animals in the kingdom. Allah gave us this honor. Allah gave us this respect. And subhanallah, anytime somebody wishes to make something that is great, make something that is of quality, then what happens? You have to use the best ingredients. You have to use the prime supplies. The best gold, the best silver is going to make the best jewelry, is make the best necklace. You want the best food, you have to have the most purest of ingredients. Look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us His qudra. That the greatest of makhlooq, which is insan, what did Allah create him from? Turab, from dirt and from dust. Allah is showing us that look, I am qadir, I am capable, that from a lowly creation like dust, I'll make the greatest makhlooq. Human beings are made from that droplet of fluid. That droplet of fluid which is impure, it's najis, it is filthy. It is something that is dirty. From that, look at how Allah made such a pure, such a clean, such a great human being Allah Azza wa Jal made. Now respected listeners, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of the cycle of this life. From that weakness, Allah gave strength. You're able to walk, you're able to talk, you're able to earn, you're able to move. You have some bit of independency. But look, Allah reminds us, don't forget you're still in this maze. You're still in a maze, you're still in a trap. Don't forget what's coming in the end. ثُمَّ جَعَلَ مِن بَعْدِ قُوَّةٍ ضُعْفًا وَشَيْبًا. Then after this period of strength, what did Allah make? ضُعْفًا وَشَيْبًا. Weakness comes again. The time of gray hairs and white hairs, it's going to come in the end. And slowly thereafter, the qabr is there. قَالَ كَمْ لَبِثْتُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ عَدَدَ سِنِينَ. How long did you stay in the earth? قَالُوا لَبِثْنَا يَوْمًا أَوْ بَعْضَ يَوْمٍ فَاسْأَلِ الْعَادِينَ. We stayed in this earth for a day or a portion of a day. Subhanallah. That's the reality of these days, months, weeks, years that you're living. It's going to be like half a day in the akhirah. Rasulullah ﷺ mentioned in one hadith that the person that had the greatest of ni'mats in this world, anything he wanted, he had it. Women, clothing, jewelry, mansions, everything he had. The happiest life he lived in this dunya. Allah will take this person and one dip into Jahannam. How long does one dip take? 1 second. Those 70, 80, 90, 100 years of his life, Allah will ask him, "Oh my servant, do you know what is happiness?" By Allah, I don't know what is happiness. What does this word mean? What is happiness? I've never experienced happiness in my life. With one dip, he'll forget all of it. And subhanallah, the believers, the mu'mineen, the one that went through the greatest of trials, the greatest of difficulties, poverty, sickness, struggles to be a mu'min, but he remained firm. He went through sadness in this life. The friends were having fun. He stayed pure. He stayed clean. The people were taunting him. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why are you spending time in the masjid? You're young, have fun, enjoy. The person remained strong. They went through all these sacrifices. They went through all of those difficulties. Allah Azza wa Jal will take this person one dip into Jannah. Just one dip, 1 second. Oh my servant, do you know what is sacrifice? Do you know what is struggle? Do you know what is sadness? Do you know what is hardship? What will that servant say? Ya Rabb, oh my Lord, I don't know what is sadness. I don't know what is grief. I don't know what is difficulty. All this one dip in Jannah, he forgets everything that happened in dunya. All he knows is happiness after that. Respected listeners, this is the reality of dunya. This is how these moments will pass us by. In the akhirah, it's going to look like it's nothing. There are narrations that mention when the mu'mineen, they leave this dunya and they enter into the next world. So what happens? We see the family members are crying. Everybody is crying. We're making dua. We're so sad. If only we could spend one more day. My brother, my sister, my friend, my mom, my dad. Well, we wish just one day we could have spent with them in this dunya. We're crying for them. The hadith says those people that have passed away as true believers, the worst thing that they want is to come back into this dunya. They don't want to come back to dunya. They don't want to come back to this world. They're enjoying the bounties and the na'im of the akhirah. They're happy, they're satisfied, they're content. Brothers and sisters, let us remember, the ultimate objective and our aim is not just success in this world. It's not only being happy here. Be happy in the place that truly matters. And that is the akhirah. That is the akhirah. That is the true place of living. That is the true place for every human being. Imagine the life of this dunya in comparison with the akhirah. It's not even a drop in the ocean. How can you compare 60, 70 years to unrestricted eternity? Unrestricted eternity, respected listeners. This is what we must strive for. This is what we must aim for, is eternity. Do you rather give up the eternity of happiness just for a few moments of happiness in this dunya? Is that a good trade-off? Or does it make sense? I'll sacrifice this dunya, which is low, it's weak, it has no value. It's superficial. It's just a few moments and a few years. Let me sacrifice in this dunya. Allah will give me eternities of happiness, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to have the right perspective on our lives and to understand the reality of these moments that we are living in, and that this whole dunya, it's just a test. The real life awaits us in the akhirah. May Allah grant us all tawfiq. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.